guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a review on the Dollar Tree foundation. The brand is Energine. You can have a look at it right there if you're interested. I know they have a couple, but this is the one that I grabbed up. And I used it in my Dollar Tree makeup challenge, but I wanted to go ahead and really give it a fair shot. I didn't really care for it the way I used it in my makeup challenge, which I didn't have a primer. I don't think I had any lotion on underneath. You know, nothing special going on. I just used this with my fingers, and I didn't like the way that it applied. I didn't like the way that it felt on my face. I didn't feel like it did anything, but I wanted to see what it could do if I give it a fair shot. So today I used it with some of the e.l.f. mineral primer underneath, a little bit of my e.l.f. concealer. Then this, I gave it 2 shots, one with a beauty blender on half of my face, the other half of my face I used a stippling brush, and I just really wanted to give it a fair shot. That being said, I still didn't really care for it. I actually had to go wash it all off my face because the longer I wore it, and I know in the video I mentioned commenting that it felt like I didn't have anything on my face, which as soon as I put it on, like, it didn't feel like I had anything on my face because it was such a thin, liquidy type of feeling, which normally it's a good thing. You don't want to have to feel your makeup on your face, but I felt like it wasn't doing anything. It felt like I didn't have anything on my face, and it didn't look like I had anything on my face. So the longer I wore it, the more it started feeling tight and constricting, like when you use like one of those mud facial masks and you know how they get all like tight. That's how this started to feel on my face. So I went ahead and washed it off, redid my makeup, went a little crazy with the cat eye. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get on into the video here and you can see what I'm talking about. So to start things off, I've already primed my face using my e.l.f. Tone Adjusting Face Primer. You guys know I swear by it. And then I went ahead and concealed any redness and whatnot with my e.l.f. Cover Everything Concealer. So we're going to go ahead and get on into this guy. I've got my beauty blender. He's all nice and moist. No more do we have the blue one that I've used for the past year because Banjo got a hold of it and tried to eat him and shredded him all over the living room floor. So now we got the purple guy. So we're going to go ahead and take the Dollar Tree foundation. This is the Energine brand makeup foundation. What color is it? I don't know that that matters necessarily. I don't know. It doesn't say what the color is on the bottle. It probably said on the packaging. But that is what it looks like. If you've been to the Dollar Tree, you've probably seen this brand of foundation. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this, put it on the back of my hand. Last time I used this guy for my Dollar Tree makeup challenge, I found him to be very runny, and I didn't feel like he did a whole lot for covering anything on my face. It kind of looked like I didn't have anything on my face. But like I said today, I want to give it a fair shot. So we've got my foundation, not my foundation. I've got my primer and I've got my concealer on, and then we're going to use a little bit of the Age Rewind on top. We're going to set it with powder like all my more drugstore products. We're going to use those with this guy and see if being used with better products, if he doesn't do a better job. So. And I've got a mirror down here I'm going to look at. I'm going to go between the viewfinder and the mirror probably. This might just be too light for my skin. I feel like I'm getting the same thing I got the last time, which is that it doesn't really do anything. It still doesn't really feel like I have much going on my face. I mean, you can kind of tell the difference because this side of my face doesn't look as shiny, whereas the side of face, I know you can see it on my forehead, looks a little more shiny, but I don't think it's really doing that much. So we're going to let that side set up, and I'm going to do this side of my face with a stippling brush and see which works better, a stippling brush or the beauty blender. So let me go grab my stippling brush and we'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and grabbed up my stippling brush. He kind of needs cleaned, but he'll work. I think what's in him is powder, so it shouldn't really interfere too much with what's going on. And then we're just a little bit on the back of the hand, swirl this around, And then start stippling him into the face. Okay, and that is my full face done with this foundation. Again, I don't really feel like I have that much in coverage going on. And I gotta say, so far, I'm liking the way it looks better with the Beauty Blender than the stippling brush because, and I'll come a little bit closer. I don't know how well you can tell. Yeah, you can kind of see. The stippling, ooh, got some brightness going on. The stippling brush is a little more streaky. You can more see that on my nose. Right through here, do you see all that kind of a little more streaky looking? Whereas this side, using the Beauty Blender, I feel like it just pushes it more into the skin better. And I think this just has to do with the formula of the foundation more than anything, because it is very light. But I feel like it has to do with the fact that the formula with this is so light. It's got to be like a water-based foundation or something. Let me see. It doesn't say anything on here about what like the ingredients are, but I'm betting water-based because it's so thin and liquidy. Excuse me. It doesn't feel like you're really putting anything on the face. If you want a day that's like super light coverage, this might be worth getting, but I really gotta say, I mean, from a distance here, it doesn't look that bad, really. But when I come up close, you start seeing all of my imperfections, redness coming through. It's not super well covered. And what I was getting with the foundation and the stippling brush not working very well with it, I think it just has to do more with the consistency of the foundation being more liquidy. I personally have found that I prefer using my stippling brush when I have either a powder foundation or just a thicker foundation like the Dream Matte Mousse foundation. I love using my stippling brush for that. But if I have more of a liquidy foundation like this one, I feel like it gets more streaky. Whereas the Beauty Blender seems to do a better job of just kind of blending him into the skin and really just pressing him in. So I want to go ahead and do a second coat with the Beauty Blender, and we'll see what we end up with. So this is what it looks like after putting on a second coat. I really don't feel like it's all that bendable. I feel like you can still see a lot of my imperfections coming through. You can see, you know, all the scars and bruising through here. Not really any bruising, but scars. Got a scar here and here showing up. But that guy I expect to show up through anybody because he's pretty gnarly. But I don't feel like it's a very buildable foundation. And so far, even just trying to give it a fair shot, I'm not really loving it. Again, this wouldn't be too bad if you just want like a really light coverage day. If you have really naturally flawless looking skin and really good, but you feel naked without wearing your foundation, I think you could get away with buying this. But for someone who needs more coverage, I wouldn't recommend it. Save your dollar, check out something else. But we'll go ahead and put on some of this concealer and see if I can open it. If it plays well. That's something else I was noticing. How do you open it? Oh, it's got tape on it. Durr. Okay, I got the tape off. But that was something else I was noticing, is that it's kind of like getting, how do I want to say this, like sitting in the pores on my nose. Like if you're up close, you can really see where my, it doesn't really cover them or mask them or hide them. It's like it looks really patchy on my nose. Can you see all that? Like, look, all my pores, you can see all of them with this, and that's just because of that foundation. It's just, I've had other foundations that, you know, like cover all that up. You can't see it. This is just like enhancing all of those. So again, this is almost like one of those foundations, like, I feel like from about this distance here on camera, it doesn't look too bad. But in person and like up close, I'm not loving it. Like, I would not rebuy this stuff. So, let's see. Nothing's coming out yet. Give me a minute. Finally got some makeup coming out of here. So, we'll go ahead and see how all this works. And if it plays well. I'm going to avoid my nose because I've already have so much cakiness going on with it from the foundation itself. We're just going to avoid all that. Yeah, I feel like this just isn't playing very well with other makeup products so far. I feel like the foundation itself has already just kind of settled in any fine lines and pores that I have, that putting anything on top of it is just kind of like intensifying and giving more and more of a cakier look. So we are all already know that my nose looks horrible. But right through here, I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but in person, all of this is starting to look pretty cakey. And right under my eyes isn't looking very good either. And you can see it's kind of clinging to any hair I have on my face and intensifying it. So my mustache, it's really clinging to all those hairs and intensifying it. All the scarring over here. And that all has to do with the foundation I have on. So we'll go ahead and set it all with some face powder. And it's just not looking good. So we'll see. And this is just my e.l.f. translucent face powder. And okay, so we've finished with the powder. I feel like I look ghostly white. But this foundation I think was a little, I don't know, it matches my neck. So, I don't know, maybe all of my tan is just gone from the summer. But, yeah, I'm not loving this foundation. I mean, for $1, I guess it's okay. But I would really suggest just saving your dollar and going and getting the CoverGirl True Blend foundation. It's like $5 or $6. It's really not very expensive. And I'm not trying to be a makeup snob. I mean, I really want any of the makeup that I show you guys or talk to you guys or talk about to you guys, I want it to be affordable and something that you can say, oh, I like that, I want to go get it. But this being $1, I think you're better off saving your dollar and getting something else. Again, I'm not trying to be like a makeup snob and be like, oh, I'm too good for a Dollar Tree foundation. This is just a review on how I think it holds up, giving it a fair shot, which I think I've given it a fairly fair shot. I've used some primer with it. I've used some concealer with it. I used 2 different kinds of brushes to apply it, and giving it some powder to set and all that stuff. Like, I've done everything like drugstore except for the foundation, just trying to give it a fair shot, and I still gotta say I think it's a bust. I mean, I don't think it looks that bad from a distance, but up close, I don't love it. I don't like how cakey it is on my nose. You can see it's kind of a little cakey right here in between my eyebrows. Like, any hair, it's just clinging to. So, like, any hairs I have growing here in between my eyebrows, because I do grow a unibrow, it's clinging to any of the hairs growing in here. It's clinging to all of my pores and making them look larger. It's clinging to my facial hair. It's clinging to any scars, any like indentations or anything that's a little different on the skin. It's really just clinging to all of these imperfections and making them more noticeable, which defeats the purpose of makeup because, you know, the purpose of makeup is to hide all of your imperfections and make yourself look flawless. That'd be my Pepsi. That little squirting sound you heard a second ago. So, to wrap this review up, I'd say it's a flop. Save your money. Go get a better drugstore foundation. Skip this one. He's not that great. That's not to say there aren't any good makeup items at the Dollar Tree. There are. I've done some reviews on them. This is not one of them. So, that'll wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe if you have not already. Leave any comments down below. I love hearing from you guys. Have you guys tried this foundation? Let me know. Leave that in the comments. There's another foundation the Dollar Tree does have, and I'd like to do a review on that one as well and see if it's any better. So that'll be in another video, but I'll see you guys later. Bye.